The morning sea was calm, but beneath that silence lay a storm waiting to break. The gray outlines of warships loomed against the horizon as dawn spilled gold over the restless Pacific. Hundreds of U.S. Marines stood ready, faces hardened, minds focused, hearts steady. Their mission was clear: to bring the fight from sea to shore, to prove once again that when the Marines arrive, the impossible becomes possible. Aboard the USS Baton, Sergeant Logan Reeves tightened the straps of his gear. He was a second-generation Marine, following in his father's footsteps. "From the sea, we fight," his father had said before his last deployment. Today, those words pulsed in Logan's chest like a battle drum. Around him, the air was thick with anticipation, the clank of metal, the hum of engines, the sharp scent of salt and oil. Below deck, amphibious assault vehicles lined up like sleeping beasts. Their crews checked weapons and communications one last time. The operation had been planned for months. A full-scale amphibious landing to secure a strategic coastline held by enemy forces. Naval bombardments had softened the shore, but no one knew what waited beyond the surf. 5 minutes to launch, a voice echoed through the ship. Logan glanced at the young Marine beside him, Private Jace Miller, barely 19, fresh from boot camp. His hands trembled as he gripped his rifle. Logan placed a steadying hand on his shoulder. "Remember your training. Trust your team. Keep moving." When the ramp lowered, the roar of engines drowned everything. One by one, the vehicles rolled into the ocean, their treads churning through waves as water splashed against their armored hulls. The Marines inside bounced with each impact. The sound of rotor blades thundered overhead, CH-53 helicopters slicing through the dawn sky, carrying reinforcements and supplies. The full might of amphibious warfare was in motion. Through the narrow viewports, Logan could see the coastline drawing near. Smoke rose from the beaches where naval shells had landed moments before. The radio crackled with updates. Some landing crafts had hit underwater obstacles, others were taking fire. The enemy was ready. "Prepare to disembark," shouted the vehicle commander. The ramp slammed down into knee-deep surf, and the Marines surged forward, rifles raised. Bullets hissed through the air, striking the water around them. Sand exploded beneath mortar fire. The rhythm of battle began, chaotic, deafening, relentless. Logan's team pushed toward a dune line, using smoke grenades for cover. "Move, move," he yelled, guiding Miller and the others behind a collapsed bunker. A Marine with a radio called for air support. Moments later, an F-35B Lightning II screamed overhead, unleashing precision strikes on enemy artillery. The ground shook, and cheers erupted over the comms. From the sea, more hovercrafts LCACs raced ashore, carrying Humvees, supplies, and reinforcements. The coordination was flawless. Navy, Marine Corps, and air power moving as one living organism. The doctrine of amphibious assault was unfolding in perfect form. Logan peeked over the ridge, spotting enemy positions entrenched near an old pier. "We flank left," he ordered. His fireteam followed, crawling through sand and debris. They reached a crumbled seawall, and with hand signals, Logan directed suppression fire while Miller advanced. Miller fired bursts toward the pier, his fear replaced by focus. Suddenly, a blast threw Logan backward. His ears rang. He looked down. Shrapnel had grazed his arm. "I'm fine," he growled, pushing himself up. The team regrouped, pressed forward, and cleared the pier with close-quarters precision. When it was done, the American flag was raised over the ruined structure, waving defiantly against the smoke-filled sky. By midday, the beachhead was secure. Engineers worked quickly, marking safe zones and clearing mines. Medics moved between wounded Marines, their voices calm amid the chaos. Offshore, more ships arrived, bringing tanks, artillery, and food. The operation had succeeded, but the victory was not without cost. As night fell, Logan sat by a makeshift fire near the water's edge. The tide rolled in softly now, as if the ocean itself was at peace again. He watched the horizon where the warships still stood guard, silhouettes against the burning sunset. Miller joined him, handing over a canteen. "Sergeant," the young Marine said quietly, "we did it." Logan nodded, staring into the flames. "Yeah, but tomorrow, we move inland. The mission's not over. For the U.S. Marines, it never was. From the first waves of the ocean to the last ridge of the battlefield, they carried a legacy older than any war, a promise to be the first to fight and the last to fall. As the camp settled into the rhythm of the night, the sea whispered against the shore, carrying away the echoes of battle. The Marines rested, knowing that at dawn, they would rise again. Because when the call comes, from sea, air, or land, they answer not with hesitation, but with power, unity, and unshakable resolve. From sea waves to battlefield shores, they were more than soldiers. They were the shield and the storm, the embodiment of courage forged in saltwater and steel, destined to stand where the fight was hardest and freedom's light burned brightest. Their story, like the tide, would never end. It would rise again, every time the world called for the Marines.